I am NetMoverSitan. Previously on Minecraft Weekly, World of Towers. I found an end city while exploring the outer islands of the end. A vertical city with chests full of loot. And is full of shulkers that fire pellets which sort of home in on their targets. And do that, make you float. First cause a little damage. Oh yes. And I have completed Test Expected Behavior. A rather interesting first-person puzzle game where to a certain extent you can choose the order of the levels you progress through. There are even some optional levels where they are extra challenging and aren't necessarily needed for completion. Meaning that I didn't have to complete them. I just wanted to. Because I have masochistic tendencies. Ah, there you are. And I'm burning! Yeah. Those of you who don't know I have masochistic tendencies, you obviously haven't seen me go through the dark sword strategy. Or even super hot Hollow Knight. The kind of games where one thing you can guarantee is that you're going to receive a lot of pain. Although, that's one thing with fraps. The capture software that I use is that it makes sure that I don't spend too long playing a game. That it encourages me to take a break at some points. Think of it as a sort of failsafe. Because last time I played that one, started to get a headache. Yes, death from above. Death from above. Right. What to start next? Well, I'll give it a few days to help me upload the catch up. But I think the next project is going to be one that's a bit Welsh. Yeah, seriously. It's an indie game made by a Welsh developer. That's basically what it is. A first-person exploration game made by a country where a lot of the place names, and even a lot of language, can't be pronounced without coughing up mucus. Oh, there's one thing that Blackadder wasn't off by much. For example, a type of cheese with pickled something in it. Not to everyone's taste. That is known as... well, it's also the place it came from, apparently. Arlek. And another place name, Agerlobeni. Yeah, I certainly can't say it without coughing up mucus. Well, if you're watching this at least a couple weeks after the upload, at least some of it, if not all of it, will be uploaded by now. I'm saying nothing. But if you have enough intelligence to figure it out, you will probably already know what's next on my list. Yeah. Well, unless the DLCs for Shovel Knights and Hollow Knights are done by them. And look at all these shulkers waiting to die. They shall feast on my diamond sword! Yes! Oh yes. And as for Soul Blights, I want the uploads to catch up to that before continuing that one. Have here then. Oh yes, the ender chest. Making that one will allow you to access its contents anywhere. You just need to make an ender chest, and just like you put in one, you'll find in another. Mending. Now that seems to be a rare enchantment. That uses experience orbs to repair the armor. And see what I mean? They hope. Although they can't get through glass. Well, if that was true, then there'd be some broken windows around here. Oh yes. Really must get around to repairing the armor that has warts. Thankfully, I have a lot of experience levels to do so. I just need to also make a diamond chest. Chest plates, yes. Yeah. If and when I do play a first-person shooter, it'll be sometime after the next project. Then again, those developers that haven't got around to releasing the final DLC yet. They might surprise me quicker than Dr. Alphys suffering from nerd rage, and release it by the time... Yeah. I'm being hopelessly optimistic, aren't I? And speaking of hopeless, have any of you encountered a hopeless situation? Much like in the book Catch-22, where to get something you need this, and to get that you need what you're lacking in the first place. I have been in that situation a few times. It's caused me to question some of my decisions. And at times, it makes me wonder if I've been a bit too kind to some people. Some people that haven't really deserved it. Then again, I'm not a psychopath. For a start, I haven't gone into banking, nor politics, or any of the other professions that would require at least what it appears to be a conscience removal surgery. Because having an intact moral compass, well, that'd be more hindrance in some professions than a help. Much like in other professions, not having intact morality is likely to get you into trouble. Let's just say that if a psychopath went into, I don't know, a profession that required at least some compassion, and they went a bit too far, not knowing what too far is. Let's just say that the only date they'll be getting is a date with justice. Have any of you been addicted to certain feelings? At times, I felt like I was addicted to feeling pain, because at least I could feel something. Rather than my own. Yeah. There are actually some who are addicted to feeling the victim. But they don't want to feel anything that negates that feeling. Some are sociopaths. Those trapped in the reality where the normal rules don't apply. Or more specifically, it doesn't apply to them. But not all of them are. Some of them are those who are practically outcasts. And yeah, they can teleport to the end of the can. Those who feel the victim. Ooh, even better. More protection. Some feel the victim. Because that is basically what they are. They have no other way of dealing with that. No supports. Although over time, it can get to the point where you just stop caring about being a victim, as it hasn't done you any good. It's something to tune out. Because I've realised life for what it is. One big bad joke. A bad joke that no one on my side of it finds funny. In fact, it's quite cruel. And if you find it funny, then you're doing it at the expense of others, and you have no shame. Yeah, I needed to say that. Or rather, I had something to say. Yeah. The wise speak because they have something to say. Fools speak because they have to say something. Yeah, considering some of those who are in government, I'm thinking the latter applies to them. It's just a matter of differentiating between those who are bigoted fools and those who are, well, just fools. And there's a difference. As for those who believe that they are owed by a nation that had wronged them centuries ago, the eternal victim, is another way of putting it. Those who will be unsatisfied with any deal, no matter how reasonable. Yeah, see what I mean? They teleport. At least some of these use that as an excuse to disproportionately mean, for lack of a better way of putting it. Well, that's the thing about excuses. Make them too many times and they stop working. And people will realise that individual for what they are. Narrow-minded bigots. Yeah. This is mostly, well, at least some of them are nationalists. Something which I don't trust. Yeah, that group. That type of group of individuals. I don't trust them. This is irrespective of their point of origin. Whether they be close to home or somewhere else. Oh yes, and those self-help guides. Pages and pages of complete drivel. I mean, some people, they're so desperate for guidance that they're willing to listen to that. Well, there are two uses for self-help guides that are more useful than, well, it's a guide to doing things better. Either as kindling for a fire, kindling that has words and sentences written on it. Also as emergency toilet paper. Yeah, that seems to be all it's good for, isn't it? I mean, Super Seducer seems to be one big self-help guide. One that seems to give the impression that deception is what is needed with the female population. Yeah, I hope you haven't played it for too long. Because you know the refund policy on Steam. Don't worry, I will not be playing that. Oh yes, and as for returning to the portal that gets me back to the central island, I'll be creating some end block markers to show where I've been. I'll probably also gather some chorus fruits while I'm here. Chorus fruits which can only be found here. A fruit that fills your hunger quite considerably, more so than potatoes, but has the side effect of random teleportation. Alright, where are you? Ah, there you are. Honestly, why won't you just die? Yeah. Thankfully I have the feather falling boots, and thankfully I didn't feel too high. Otherwise, I'd probably be dead. And I do not want to lose all this experience. Not when I can repair my weapons and armor with it, among other things. Right. I've explored this end city. It's outlasted its usefulness. And wherever this wingsuit type item is, it's not in this one. At some point I will need to explore around here. Although I'll do a lot of it off camera. Mostly because I don't want to bore you with the exact details of where I found it. Yeah, that's what I climbed up. And believe me, it was a nightmare to get across. Although, not as bad as the nightmare that was some of the levels in test expected behaviour. Because it required good timing and good aiming. Two things which I am terrible at. Be honest. You think that as well. Blind musicians could do better than me, can't they? Well, I think that's enough for this session. I'll be heading back to the overworld next week. Yeah. Until next time. Hail the rabbit!